And now we're streaming live.
Okay, that's Dennis Culpepper with the white checkers on top and Wilcox Snellings with the red checkers on the bottom. This is the finals. It's an 11-point finals. We were just talking about that. We thought maybe it should be longer in the finals, but this is the way it's been set. And it's probably a good thing because both of them are alive, I think, in some other things too, and there's lots more matches to go. We've got a great Masters and Super Jackpot and doubles, all kinds more things to going on today at the largest tournament in the history of the ABT. Congratulations to Lynn Ehrlich for tournament director for 17 years for keeping this tournament going, and we've got a lot of international players here as well. Okay, let's get into this match right now. You can clearly see an edge for Victor because Victor for Wilcox. Victor, I thought Victor would be in the finals. He often is. For Wilcox because he has fewer checkers back and there's those blots. But Dennis just had a great roll making the bar with 6-5 that keeps him in the game. Probably stopped the double. We call that a cube saver. And obviously now, this is not the great roll for Wilcox.
Oh!
What's reversed?
The names? Oh yeah, the names are reversed. Let me go fix the names. Thank you,
Okay.
Frank.
You mean Wilcox is not at the bottom?
Oh my gosh.
Wilcox is playing the white checkers and Dennis is playing? We got it reversed. We got it reversed. Yeah, it is reversed. So we've got Wilcox playing the white checkers and Dennis playing the red. Thanks to Frank Frigo for correcting it. He's not a world champion twice for nothing. He knows how to read names. So okay, so ignore the name tags there. That's Wilcox in white, who just rolled a good roll. I've got Shiller sitting here. Yeah, it's up to Shiller. He's the boss. So he's in the process of changing the names, but the game goes on. Wilcox has a pretty good roll here because it hit. There's a lot of ways to play this, and I'm not sure at all how I would play it. I think that you just make the players get up and move. Make it easier for us. I mean, it's all about me and not them, right? If you missed the introduction, Dennis has beaten Michi and Mochi the last two times he played him in two big matches in recent years. Wilcox has beaten everybody, and his PRs are unbelievable. He's clearly one of the top few players in the world. A lot of people might think he's the best ever, or one of the best ever. He's on my list. When they talk about the best ever players, it's Mochi and Wilcox and a couple of others, Knack Ballard, Leverman, Jason Lester, people that were before my time. But during my time, I don't know anybody I would say is tougher than Wilcox, except maybe Mochi or Sander. They're right up there. Victor Ashkenazi and Zednik are certainly showing strength. Peter Jess Thompson is scary. There's a lot of them, but Wilcox is a standout. So he would be the favorite in the match. He's the betting favorite, no question about it. And they're two of the nicest guys in backgammon. I love them both. All right, we got it corrected. I can't see it, but that's Wilcox in white with the white checkers at the top. Okay.
We're going to get this fixed up for you.
That's all right. Multiple holding games with Dennis holding the 3-point, which Michi in his latest book, or one of his recent books, called the butterfly point, because it's kind of here. You don't get gammon very much when you're holding the 3-point, even if things go wrong, so you almost always have a take in normal scores. Now it's a very brittle game for both players. Sixes are going to be very tricky for both players to play. And fives and fours aren't going to be so hot either. As you can see, Wilcox just rolled a 4-1, which is not going to be a fun play. If he comes off the 18 point, he leaves 17 shots. And that's about the only play other than that. He'd either have to make the play he's making now or he leaves 17 shots, and he doesn't want to leave 17 shots. That's almost half the deck. There's 36 possible shots. And he would have been hit, so hindsight says he even made the right play. Which we don't use hindsight in backgammon, do we, Larry?
What's that?
What's that, right? Very good roll for Wilcox clearing there. And this is a tricky, rolling doubles is good, but this isn't exactly the doubles he wanted. But it keeps him very, very solid in the race, which is going to make it very hard for Wilcox to double because Dennis is leading the race and he could leave a shot. So for those reasons, it can't be a double. But it's not an easy game for Dennis to win. I would give Wilcox the edge here. And there's very few gammons.
So who's ahead, Phil?
Who's ahead? I give Wilcox the edge.
You do? Have you done the count?
Oh, no, no, pip count. I said if you want the pip count, I would say that it's close now.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Let's
Very
take a
close.
look. So,
Very close.
So this is an interesting play for Wilcox because he's leaving an 8 shot, and if he gets hit on the 8, he could get gammoned. Nice roll, 2-1. But let's do a quick pip count and see what that's like. Pip count is how many pips do you need to get all your checkers off the board, into your home board and off the board. And that's called a race. So when two players are playing, if there was no contact, right now we have contact, but if there was no contact, that would mean that the player with a lower number of pip count would be ahead, typically. So not always true, actually, because there's so much nuance with backgammon. And if we do a pip count now, I'm going to look at the 2 checkers up here on the 22 point for Dennis. That's 44. And then if you look at his home board, basically the 30 checkers and 10 is 40. So there's 40 plus 44 is 84 is the pip count for red.
Okay.
And the pip count for white is 13 plus 22 is 35. And 45 is 80 is 86. So we've got 84 and 86. Pretty close, right? So 80 is red, 86 is white. Now if white rolls a 6-1, and of course neither player wants to get hit.
Dennis is forced out now with any 5 or 6, which would be a very big liability if he had rolled it, but he didn't now.
Oh, and now there's a cube. It's an interesting cube because he's really not. I mean, it's probably a
It's
take.
an easy take. Mochi came up with a formula that if you're within 23 pips and you're on the 3 point and your board isn't totally crashed, you can take. And he is clearly within 23 pips.
And that's a great statistic. Where do people come up with numbers like that, Phil?
By
23 pips on the what about the 2 point?
No.
What about the 4 point?
No, it doesn't
No,
apply.
the 3 points.
Only
Gotta be
the
the 3 point.
Only the 3 point. And how do you come up with that? By putting a position at XG and running it 10 million times until you see that.
And what on earth inspired that? That's why he's the #1 player
He
in
wanted
the world.
to know when you should take when you're on the 3 point, when you should take. When the pip count.
I
doesn't
guess
matter.
it happens a lot at backgammon.
23 is the magic number.
You know, Dennis certainly would like to know.
Easy take. Easy.
And-
I'm not sure of the double. That's the other reason. I created something and I copied Kit Woolsey and got his permission. I use reverse Woolsey's law. If I'm not sure it's a double, I know it's a take.
Yeah. Oh, look, these double 2s inside the home board and double 3s, they're just such an annoying roll. But in many ways, it's not bad for red, although red is now obviously far behind in the race.
So here's why it was a double, in spite of the pip count. He's very likely to get shots. And if he hits it and doesn't get hit back, he's ginned, and he could have maybe get some gammons. Not too many gammons here now.
Now, the other thing about this is that white, if white's ahead in the race, white does not want to have to hit that checker.
Okay, how many shots are there? There's 20 shots plus double 1 is 21, plus double 2 is 22, plus 3-1 and 1-3.
I think it's
That's about 24 shots. This one has a little bit fewer shots, but if you get hit and you don't hit back, but at least you get a direct hit back. So I like this play because he has a chance now to roll a 3. I like that play. And he didn't roll a 3. This is pretty much
It's
gin.
actually
Pretty much
20
gin.
20.
Now the question is whether he gets gammoned. And I know exactly how many gammons there are. Great roll. Taking
Yeah.
off 2 and
Now
not-
the gammon percentage has increased.
Yeah.
It's probably around 30%. That high? Maybe
Close.
25.
Close. I'd say closer to 22, 24%.
So this is interesting. These are now it's much less.
Now gammons are
Almost zero.
almost 0.
The
Now
reason
you
for that
see
is
why
that
Wilcox doubled, though. I mean, that's
I
what the
know,
scenario
right?
he was
This happened
thinking of.
yesterday. He made a double, and the commentators, including myself, were, gee, was that a double? And it swung back and forth, but the cube was dead, so there was no more doubling, and by and large,
Yeah.
by the score. And he ended up winning the game and the match.
Yeah,
on a
and if I
gammon.
was Wilcox Snelling, I would never double because I think I'm so much better than everybody else. But he's playing the game properly. He's saying, if I think it's a double, I'm going to double, which shows respect for his opponents too. He knows Dennis is no slouch, and he's going to make what he thinks is the right play. But that double, I'm not sure I would have made. The play he just made. Yeah. That was a good play. Marty Storer just pointed out he made a play that you would normally never make, but he's making doubles work more because he's trying to go for gammons because there's no way he's not going to win.
Now they know that he can't avoid
Yeah,
getting a
they give up.
checker off.
He's
So
giving him-
both players know that, so they don't roll it out.
2-1,
They just
2-1
stop.
versus doubles.
You know, expert players are not going to roll it out.
The only
when they
person I know that
there's
would play
no
that out is
possibility.
Herb Roman. He doesn't.
Oh, Herb likes to
he-
play that
Herb
out?
is nasty about that. He'll play it out no matter what. He just wants to see his opponents suffer. I like people like that. Yeah.
All right, so it's 2-0 in favor of Wilcox.
Right.
And they both roll 4s, which means that they have to roll again, because in backgammon, the higher roll goes first.
Okay, at 2-0 in a match to 11, it's amazing that it does change cube action. Yeah, I don't think it's going to change your checker play very much, but especially 2 and 4.
Yeah, okay, what's an
especially
example
when you
of
get
that?
to a 4 cube, there's a big difference between being 2-0 and 0-0. And
Okay.
this is something that I've only learned in recent years.
So if you're a beginner, intermediate, just learning the game, and you're saying, well, what is this cube thing? It's fine to play without the cube when you're first learning, but the doubling cube is shown on 8 right now between the names. It's actually on 64 or 1.
It's really on 1.
But it's an invention by some unknown, unsung hero in the 1930s.
Well, we thought it was the 1930s, but I just saw an article that was written in 1929 where they talked about the cube. So it had to be.
Really?
I changed my whole thinking about 3 weeks ago. We know the cube was invented before 1930.
Maybe it was the cause of the Great Depression in the U.S. You know? So
That's very good.
the cube, there you go, because it is a wonderful gambling device. I'm surprised it's not used in other sports.
Oh,
or
it
maybe
is.
it
I
is.
use it in golf. I use it in pool. I use it in gin rummy.
Well, that's
the cube is
Phil,
in fact
who uses it in
fantastic.
other
yeah.
sports, and I'm not surprised.
I used it in 2 of my marriages. 2 of my marriages. we used the cube.
The legal profession, take
Yeah.
notes, right?
I got doubled out twice.
That's hysterical. All right, this is so funny. So the doubling cube, as Phil was talking about, actually affects the game and how you use the cube. It's
Yeah.
a function of the score.
They're playing a game for 1 point. If you turn the cube to 2, then you're playing for 2 points, and of course gammons would be worth 4 and get backgammon 6.
And so you might
turn it back.
You might ask, well, wait a minute. What's to keep someone who's ahead from keep turning the cube to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 and so on? So the way it works is, if you turn the cube, the other person then owns the cube. In other words, they're the only person. The person who took it is the only person who can then turn it around to 4. So, or to 8 or whatever the cube is at. And that keeps the cube from being turned back and forth. But you know, you have some games where, oh, and look, red stayed out, and white is about to pick up a second red checker with a 7 or a 4, but the double ones doesn't do it. The double one's a beautiful roll.
Yeah, he would much rather hit.
But he would much rather hit.
I recall a hitter making the 4-point a beautiful roll. Double ones is okay. I would roll over if you gave me double ones.
Yeah, and you know, it's interesting. So Wilcox is thinking, why do I leave the blot in the outfield, right on the 9 point? Hey, there's double ones again. That looks familiar.
Well, this is not so bad. He's going to clear the blot.
Yeah, I think so. He'd like to unstack the 6 point, but clearing the blot is probably more important. Even though it duplicates 4s.
Yeah,
but,
he has to pick up the blot.
You know, when I talk about duplication, the reason white left the single checker there before when red was on the bar was because if red hit from the bar, he'd leave 2, like a triple or quadruple shot. And so Wilcox knew that was not going to happen.
I want to ask the crowd watching here, who slots? Does anybody slot here? No? They all play safe like Wilcox? Okay. I might have slotted.
Yeah, I would have.
I might have slotted.
Because you don't have good ones.
You don't want to get behind that.
I don't know. I think it's okay to
See,
slot.
these are the 2 plays that we're talking about. Most of the people here would not slot. Marty Storer and Herb Roman would not slot. I think I might slot.
Yeah, the clueless commentators want to slot, but here's the reason. You've got, the red has 5 checkers on the 6 point. There's not a lot of movement for red. If red doesn't roll a 3, there's uncomfortable rolls.
Plus the orange,
You know, 2-5 is going to stack. I mean, there's a lot. 2s play very badly. Now, if Wilcox does slot, you know, he still.
That was my play. Thank you, Mr. Wilcox. That was my play.
Double 3.
Has to be right, right?
Double 3 is a lovely roll.
Don't bet against Wilcox Snelling, I'm telling you.
Now this is an interesting play. So red is looking at bringing 3 checkers down and does it quickly. And the reason for that is red wants to keep his checkers in front of white. And now the only way for white to get out of red's home board is by rolling a 5.
Yeah.
So bringing those 3 checkers down was really smart. The other reason they did it so quickly is that many players would have made the 3 point on those double 3s. So he's got a 5-4, hits with a 5. Oh, I'm sorry, he's got a 4-3. Let's read the dice.
A hit there was very, very big for Wilcox. He needed that hit.
Boy, he sure
He
did.
needed that hit badly.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun game. It's going back and forth. There's a lot of tension in backgammon. Like, there's stress on Dennis's, on Wilcox's part of like, how am I going to get my checkers out of there?
And the reason I'm here is to increase tension. I'm told I'm very good at that.
Phil, stop talking about your marriages. I mean, this is crazy. All right, so.
A 2 is big here. He needs a 2.
He needs a 2, and the other player needs a 5.
Ooh.
So they're
I'm
both
starting to like Wilcox's
boat.
game a lot, holding the cube here.
Yeah, red is going to break with a 5 or a 6.
Ooh,
Oh, what a
roll.
nice roll.
A great roll for Wilcox.
So there's a question of timing in backgammon, and well, what a
about
great
timing.
roll for red, but 2s or 7s
2s or 7s. See,
coming up. And he got the 2.
that's a good lesson for everybody. We called out the number that you want beforehand because it makes the dice come up that way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, because you won't miss it when it happens. That's why I do it.
Now he's got a 3. He could come up with a 3, but he's going to be pointed on with every roll except a 1, and double 1s will point. So,
Yeah, but all the numbers that come off the 8, the 7 and 8 point leave blots. So
I know, but then at least 9 shots in worst case. I mean, 4 shots at worst, 1/9.
Because you're throwing a checker away otherwise.
Yeah, oh, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, at least can roll Ray Fogerland 2-6 from the bar and be okay.
I call that a Steve Mellon.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
It's more like a watermelon.
Steve was there before Ray with the 2-6.
Oh, this is not looking good for Dennis. Look at, before we talked about Wilcox being stuck behind a 5-point prime.
Look how quickly he redoubled. I would have thought about that.
It's too good.
I would have thought about
It's really too good.
No, I would have thought about it because I know it's a pass, and I would think a long time to make this snooker my opponent into taking. I guess you don't play the snooker, a guy like that.
Well, do you think he was too good?
He might have been, but
So,
he
too
might,
good means-
You know what? As fast as he doubled, I'm sure he was convinced it wasn't too good.
So too good means that if you're doubling, if you don't double, you'll probably win a gammon, and a double that, or a good chance to win a gammon, and so if you're too good and you double, the opponent's going to drop, hopefully for the opponent, and then you don't win a gammon. But if you just play on one roll and see, then you might decide to not double anymore and win the gammon. And that's what happened here. Phil and I were talking about. Wilcox did double. It was an easy pass for Dennis, and Wilcox only made 1 point. But if he played on for the gammon, he might have made 2 points without doubling. So that's what we were talking about there. Now in this game, Wilcox is off to a much better start. How can we just tell just by looking at the board? Because white has 2 checkers in its home board, and even with a hit, white has 2 checkers coming in, unless you roll double sixes. And so white has better position and is ahead in the race, and is threatening red's checkers too.
Yeah, now white
he
is
might
gonna-
hit on a 6.
Wilcox is going to double a little bit slower than you normally might because of the score. And this is why match play is so fascinating. Every time the score changes, your cube and checker play strategy changes. So he's going to be a little bit slower. This is a cube you would almost certainly give if you were behind in the match or for money. But because he's winning 4-0, I think it's a very good reason not to double.
Yeah, so Phil's talking about cube strategy, and now, of course, checker play
See, I
is
would
what
double this if
impacts on
I would
that.
have doubled right here if I was behind in the match, or even for money. I think I
But
would
winning
double.
4-0, it's,
Yeah,
you
winning
don't
4-0,
want to, you don't want to
it
do
means
that.
a lot. It's a big factor. You give your opponent a lot more cube vig when he's losing.
Yeah.
Or cube vig means the potential for him to use that cube as a weapon.
So this is an interesting 4-3 play here. White can hit on the 4-point, but there's safetying up because white's ahead in the race, so white doesn't want to attack. Now 5-4s would have been a great roll, but unfortunately red can't hit the blot with a 5-4 because they're both blocked.
So doesn't he just make his 4-point?
So making the 4 points seems pretty
I mean, what-
obvious,
what
but he
else?
could bring a 4 down and hit with a 5.
Really? I would have made the 4-point.
That's taking away a tempo. So in backgammon, there's a concept of tempo, where you can, if somebody else has pretty good rolls next time, like your opponent, like is going to, no matter what they roll, it's going to be a good roll. If you can just hit typically on your 1 point and to leave a blot, you might think, well, if he hits that, I have to go all the way back to the beginning.
I don't think
But
Wilcox has that many good rolls next time.
But he doesn't. That's true. That's true.
That calls for a
Yeah.
tempo play.
But
I
if he
think you make-
did,
I think you make the 4-point.
then a tempo play takes away half the roll of your opponent, making it much less likely that they're going to have a good roll next time. Now, Phil made a great observation, which is he doesn't need to do a tempo play because there aren't that many great rolls for white. So he's going to do what Phil suggested initially and make the 4-point. Why not?
He's not only thinking about his checker play, he's thinking about cube action. They go together. What play can I make that stops my opponent from doubling or makes it easier for me to take if he does double? So that's also on his mind. He's going to make the play I would not have made, which means he's right and I'm wrong probably. I really didn't like that play, but that doesn't mean it was wrong. And once you slot the ace point, you almost always make it nowadays. We didn't used to in the old days, but see how right it was for him to hit off the ace point? It worked out beautifully.
It's very difficult for us to see the dice and listen to this. Get a big screen.
They can't see.
Now it's a double question. Who's thinking about doubling?
Dennis is on roll. At this score,
At
he's
this
thinking
score, he's
about
thinking
doubling.
about doubling.
Now,
Yeah.
it's such an easy take. I just can't imagine
Yeah.
that I would double. He did double.
Yeah, let's see how long Wilcox takes to
Well,
take or drop
it's
it.
gammonish. It's gammonish, and he's winning. He might pass this, but I wasn't. This is again reverse Woolsey's law. If I'm not sure it's a double, I'm going to grab it.
Yeah.
But he's thinking about it.
Well,
Who takes this cube, audience? Who takes this cube? Frank Frigo, Victor Ashkenazi, Blake Fleetwood, 3 of the best players in the world. They're laughing at you, Victor.
oh, Phil, I love your sense of humor, man. All right, he's thinking about it hard. He is thinking about it hard.
Who thinks it wasn't a double? Would you have doubled there, Victor?
Yeah.
See? Clear double? Kid Woolsey says it's a clear double. What does he know? How many books have you written? 12, 15? Okay, so I'm wrong about the cube. I wasn't sure it was a double. I guess at the score, and it's gammonish, that's the reason. You wouldn't double this for money, would you?
No.
No.
It's, well, actually, it's because of the damage, the outboard, the extra checker. But score is a big factor. So
Yeah.
it's actually easy to like looks like a natural but still much.
Victor's convinced it was a very good double, and
At this score.
he at this score, and he would take it. So lots of times the double, it's a take. Very good.
And he took it.
They both agreed with Victor
And he didn't come
and
in.
Kit.
Oh, no, that's sorry. That's not his
Yeah.
roll. Yeah, great. So he's really got good coverage and looks to
He
pick up
comes in
another
20
check.
out of 36 times.
Oh,
He does.
nice. And he hits.
Comes in and hits.
That's it.
Dennis, better performer. He could be in trouble very soon.
Oh, and he hits back.
That's performing.
That's performing.
That's better than anchoring to hit there.
But white rolls a 5, and it's a
Gammon's a lot.
whole new game. Oh, again with a 1-6.
He's going to hit with a 3 or an 8 or a 12.
Or double ones.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah, no, this is looking
Two-one.
very good for Dennis.
I told you this was a double, didn't I?
This is great. Really, these
He's a
players are
3
thinking-
or an 8. He might, a 6-4 would be darn good too.
Oh, 6-2 covers.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
2s are huge now for Wilcox.
Yeah.
Huge.
He's not out of the woods with a 2, but he's certainly
Well,
deep in the
it
woods.
saves a lot of
without-
gammons and might win some games if he rolls a 2.
Yeah. Now the checkers, you saw the dice fell on the checker. That's not a legitimate
Yeah.
play. 6 and a 1.
Look how risky this is.
Yeah.
Every move is risk plus reward. So if he gets hit, he doesn't like it, but the odds of getting hit are only 11 out of 36.
And there it is. He had 2-6 from the bar, but he
Yeah.
can't hit both because
Yeah.
he, alas, has a second checker.
He's very happy with the 2, I'm telling you.
Yes. Okay, 1-6. Does he hit again? Of course.
Always, you just pound, pound, pound.
Well, he's not
The
much
anchor is
for
huge.
pounding anymore. Double 6s will allow him to pound one more time. That'll work. And he rolled a 2.
I
He's
was
been
gonna say,
good.
Double 6s covers. For,
Yeah,
for
if he doesn't hit,
Dennis.
yeah. So he's got a 5 and a 4. Wow, this game really turned around. It's amazing.
I think both players feel unlucky now.
Oh, 5 and a 2.
Wilcox is not real happy with the take, and Dennis is not real happy with the
Yeah,
way
but
it
Wilcox
went.
is happy with his rolling of 2s.
Well, yeah.
He needs one more. So
Every play makes, every roll makes somebody happy
little doubles will.
and unhappy, right? And unhappy, conversely.
I wonder, is there any? No, double 5s will not do it. So he's buttoning up. Yeah. Well, this is just one of those stressful things in backgammon where white has to roll a 2 and red has to get his checkers around before white rolls a 2, and that's the key here. So 6-5. What do you do with the 6-5? There's a 6, and he's probably going to bring down the 5
I don't know.
or cover.
I don't know. I would bring it in so that a 2 hits, but that's me. I would still be attacking, especially at this score. I'm playing more gammon go.
All right, so 2-1. Well, double 2s is what he has to watch out for.
I would have been a little more aggressive at this score than Dennis.
2-3, and he's got to leave a shot. He'll probably hit on the 1 point because.
I'm slotting the 3 point.
Now what? Oh, because you have more coverage.
Nope, I guess you're right.
Well, no, that's.
I wouldn't have done that. Because if
You,
if
you
I'm
just want to get him
successful-
off.
Even if I'm successful,
Look
I don't
at
want to
that.
check on the 1.
Look at that. Oh no, he can hit the second checker.
First you play the 5 and then you decide.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
The 5 is automatic. You're going to cover. Now the question is, do you hit or come down? I think I come down. Oh, it's a 2. Okay, I thought he had a 1.
Oh, he stays out. This is incredible. What a take. He's got a good shot. He rolls the 3. He's all safety, buttoned up, double 2s, double 3s. Double 3 is ugly. 5. Oh, this is really interesting. And what do you do now if you roll a 5 or a 6? Double 2s, awesome. Block the 3 6s. It's an excellent way
And it also
to go.
gives you builders for the 3 point.
Wow.
It's getting very exciting,
This
this
is
game.
so cool. Backgammon,
Ooh.
just what a
You got
turnaround.
to feel for Dennis a little bit.
I
here.
know, right?
We're dancing
He's now
on it.
4-0 and he's just not getting any help. But on the other hand, he's not rolling a 5 or a 6. So he doesn't roll a 5 or 6, he's not going to win this game unless he waits for it on the bear off. But on the other hand,
So Dennis is
Dennis
danced
can't
4
come
times
in.
in a row.
4 times in a row.
I hate to calculate the odds of that, but it's very small.
yeah, it's tiny.
Now this game is hugely swung, and the match is usually swung.
Well, if
to Wilcox.
double 4s, he stays out with the wrong doubles. He needed that last time. This is a gammon for Wilcox, but he's thinking about, again, doubling and just taking his 2 points and being up 6-0. But he can play for a gammon and win 8, be ahead 8-0 in the match.
I think.
What do you do, Phil?
I think it's too good.
So Phil thinks it's too good, and
I think it's too
too good, and Wilcox thinks it's too good, and we'll see. And he still does not roll.
He thinks it's too good or not good enough. And by the way, if I think I'm too good or not good enough, I just roll.
Yeah, right. Oh, and he comes in with a 3.
That
Now does he have a
complicates
double?
things.
I don't
That
know. Now
complicates
he's maybe not good enough. He doesn't want a double here, that's for sure, because he'll get the cue back at 8. 6-1 hits. What a beautiful
Ooh,
shot.
big roll.
Big roll.
Big roll.
All right. And he comes in with a 3 again. Oh, he missed, like Phil said, 4 times in a row. Now he's making up for lost time. There's no thought of doubling at all at this point. He's going to play the 4 there to block. And the 2, where's the 2? Oh, he plays the 2 to duplicate 6s. So he'll play the 2 from 11 and 9 and then only, or he could do that and just give 3-1.
The only way.
Kit says this is the right play. Kit Woolsey.
Yeah, he doesn't making.
He doesn't want the
He
8
doesn't want blocking points are points that he has to clear. They're not. His goal isn't blocking. His goal is clearing. So
I like this play because of the duplication of the 3 6s, but I don't like it because it's 2 blots.
Listen to me. Duplication is highly overrated. Duplication is highly overrated. Duplication
says-
is highly overrated.
So here it's just safe. Now Kit saying don't leave your checkers where they're going to be hard to clear, and that makes a lot of sense.
Only a 3-1 hits unless he rolls double
Well, double
threes.
3s will hit in the home
Double
board.
threes also inside.
But he rolls double 4s again, so that's not going to help him. Wilcox on roll. Can he roll a 5 or a 6? No, it's not in his dice, the 5-6 thing.
Well, he
So-
can duplicate 3s by going to the. No, he can't. He can't duplicate anything. So
I thought duplication was overrated, Phil.
let's see. Yeah, he can leave 2 blots in the inner board and duplicate a lot of numbers.
What does he do? So why isn't he playing both checkers off the 12 point? What is wrong? Well, how come I'm not seeing that as an opportunity?
That's it.
Okay, because
3,
if
6.
he rolls 3-4, 3-5, he's going to have a double shot.
Yeah. That play looks natural to me, but this must be easier to bring in. He must have a reason for this that
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah.
He does a lot of things where I don't.
3-4.
know.
Oh, we rolled the 4, and then it was a question: could it be the 3? 5 or a 6? Yes. Oh my gosh! And he can't clear the 4, so it's just he's going to keep him going. And it duplicates the 3-4s. How about that, Phil? I know it's overrated.
Okay,
but-
no, it's not totally overrated. It's somewhat overrated.
And there was, so Wilcox thinking about,
How can this not be too good? The market gainers are so small. He has to come in and hit to have a market gainer.
and at this score, he's worried about it.
Yeah.
Are you so sure it's a pass?
Oh, Kit, good answer. At this score, is it a pass? Because you take the cube, you're down 8-0. You only need, what, 12% or something?
Yeah, only in
to
match
win.
play could it possibly be too good and a take, depending on the score.
Yeah, right,
It's
that's
possible to be both. And
Yeah.
Kit pointed that out.
So if you guys are beginner or intermediate players, this is pretty advanced concept stuff because you're talking about the doubling cube adds so much nuance and complexity to backgammon. And we talked about the concept of being too good, like you don't want to double because you're probably going to win a gammon. And yet sometimes you could be too good, you shouldn't double, but if you do, it's actually a take. Like, who could have thunk that up? So, you know, but that's backgammon for you. Very strange. 5-3. Boy, he's leaving shots, you know, all over the place with this. So,
Relative to the cube, about 2 months ago, I was giving a lesson with a student at his house, and I grabbed the doubling cube, and it slipped out of my hand. He had put oil on it because I told him you should make it hard for the guy to double. He did that to me. He had put oil all over the cube.
Only you. That's
It was hard for me to double.
So here, I don't think he wants to leave 3 blots, so there really isn't, you know, much of a choice. You know, I don't know how you figure out what the right play is here.
Oh, you count shots and you count your anti-jokers if you, yeah, you count shots and you also count on the next roll. Do you have what bad rolls do you have?
To Kit's point, you don't have to leave
You
a shot.
always worry about double sixes, double fives, and double fours on your next roll also, because you don't want to leave a shot coming in.
Kit, do you think he should not leave a shot? Because Kit pointed out that he doesn't have to leave a shot. He could play the 3 in and the 5 6-1, but he's leaving a double shot, which is 4 numbers, which is 1/9. Double six is not going to do it. 11%. And look at that. Now, next time he can leave a shot with double sixes.
Yeah, but that's
So we'll
about
see
all.
what,
That's
that
it.
is all.
That's the only number.
And he finally rolled a 3-5. That would have come in handy before Dennis.
Any 3 would have been handy before that. Any 3.
Now the gammon is not.
Gammons have gone way down, but there are very few market
But there
gainers.
still are.
On the next roll, what are the chances that Dennis could take the cube? Only if you roll double fives and hit. So that's why you play on. It's not about the total gammons at all.
So there's
And
one,
market
2,
gainers
3.
is something that you don't even see that in many books. They don't even talk about it, and it's a very important concept.
So
Kid, is that in your books? Have you written about market gainers in your books? Well, you've got many books.
all right. Should Wilcox double here after double fours?
I don't see how you can double. What leaves a shot? Don't bother me with facts like
Thank you,
that.
Dana.
3.
All right. And he rolled 6-4.
I hate when people spoil my arguments with logic. Double 3. All right, so if he leaves double 3s and has to get hit, what is that, 1%? So you play on. And then you don't always lose. You can roll a 2-something after you get hit. It's a definite play on. Now I don't know what to do. Clear? Kit says clear. Phil says peel. Let's see what Wilcox says.
Yeah, well,
Wilcox goes with Phil.
6-3 is
Wilcox goes with
problematic.
Phil. That's a point for me, Kit.
I don't know why this isn't a double. I'm sorry, but
That's too good. It's not a double because your odds of him taking on the next roll are too small. It's not about total gammons. It's about how often can he take on the next roll. That's all that matters. And the score, of course, always matters. He's still ripping. See, he's playing very aggressively, even though he's winning 4-0. A lot of people would play safe here, like Mr. Woolsey. No, but the previous roll.
so what's the
Only a 6-2, 5-2.
Probability of a gammon?
That's it. Only 6-2, 5-2.
not really much to lose?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Again, he could have played safe.
No, but that makes sense.
Again, he could have played safe.
Now, if he rolls a 3-4,
He's really
that's
being
all good
aggressive.
thing. 6-4, he's got to go.
All right.
He's not going to stay.
Yeah, no reason to stay. Yeah, at this point. Okay, he can get off with doubles if red doesn't get a checker in. So Wilcox is, but there it is. He avoided the gammon.
This is a huge, huge turnaround game for Will.
Yeah.
He was in big trouble. He was being blitzed. He kept rolling 2s and saved the game. And I almost feel sorry. I do feel sorry for Dennis. I feel sorry for anybody that got some bad luck there. And I think that's probably what happened because Dennis played well and his cube was great.
And they are going to fix the score. Yay!
It's 6-0, according to one of my mentors, Joe Sylvester. I don't care what the computer says. You play gammon, go and gammon, save. This difference is score, and the computer now agrees. But at the time Joe said that, Snowy disagreed. Snowy didn't play
Yeah, so
gammon, go, and salmon save.
what does that mean, what Phil's talking about? So gammon go and gammon save, what's that about? So if you're way behind in the match, gammon's obviously going to help you get ahead faster, or at least catch up faster. So if you have a choice in checker play, even if you win fewer games but you win more gammons, you tend to make the play that's going to win more gammons. And if you're ahead, you want to save the gammons, so you're going to make more conservative plays that tend to avoid gammons. And a great example of this is when you have an opening 6-4. If your gammon go, you make the 2-point. And if your gammon save, you come up and come down.
If you roll a 3-4 in the opening roll, you bring 2 down on gammon go, and you split with gammon save. Same thing with 3-2. You slot with 4-1 and 5-1 on gammon go. So it changes a lot of your opening rolls.
Yeah.
It's a big difference but it also is going to drastically change your cube action.
Yeah.
There's very little cube vig or recube value to the leader, and huge recube value to the trailer.
So here's now an interesting choice. Like a lot of people would just hit on the 5-point automatically, but to Dennis's credit, he's looking at bringing a checker down, probably counting shots. So he's got 6-3, and any kind of 5, and 2-3 and 4-1. So there's 17 numbers that leave a shot here. But if he goes ahead and just hits there, now he's got.
And I'm hitting because
How many
it's
numbers
gammon
is
go.
that? How many numbers is that? So
I'm
any
hitting.
5 is 11.
It's the right.
He hit because it's the right play anyway. Yeah, I'm hitting. Yeah, yeah. You got to
But he
play.
did not hit.
You
and,
fight for the 5 points.
And he rolls double threes. I missed that,
He's
by
hit
the way, in my
anyway,
account.
And he wouldn't
Yeah.
have been hit if he hit, but that's hindsight.
Wow.
Yeah, but Kit and I
Nice.
both believe he should have hit there.
Yeah, it seemed like just the automatic play. So 1, 2, 3, 4. He's leaving the double shot, but duplicating 1s and 3s, Phil.
Yeah.
Again, with the 1s and 3s and the duplication. So what I mean by duplication, you can see whatever red comes in with 1, 2, 3, or a 4. If he rolls it in combination with a 1 or a 3, but if 6, he has to use the 3 to come in. So the 6 is going to go elsewhere. But White has, a lot of blots. He's going to want to clean that up. And he can. He hits and cleans up an important blot. And now White has all these checkers, 12 checkers in the zone that can really make life difficult. This is close to a cube.
The zone is all your.
Even for Wilcox, this is hard not to double. I mean, he's way ahead in the match. Doesn't really want to see the cube back at 4, but this is potential gammon territory for White.
Is it a take? Let's start with that.
Let's start with if it's a take. I mean, at this score,
Kid,
it
have
might
you heard
be a
of
take.
Woolsey's Law? Is that what you're talking about?
I was just curious whether it was a take.
So Kid's asking first. You always ask first, is it a take? And this is, to me, this is gospel. You must always use Woolsey's Law.
And what do you do now, Phil?
What do I
Using
do?
Woolsey's
I'm
Law.
absolutely sure
What do
I
you
don't
think
know.
we ought to do?
I'm absolutely sure I don't know if
Let's
it's a take or
ask
not.
Kit.
That makes for sure you double. No.
What do you?
If you're not
okay.
sure it's a take, for sure it's a double. That's
Oh, okay.
That's part of Woolsey's Law. If you're sure it's a pass, you double unless you're too good.
Kid, is this obvious to you if it's a take or a pass?
It's not obvious.
Then it
So
makes it
what do you
obvious
think?
it's
Would
a
you double?
Is the Pope Catholic?
The Pope is Catholic.
So, and there is a cube. We have a cube.
Yeah, earlier Larry mentioned the zone. That's all of your checkers on your side of the board, on both quadrants, as long as they're shooting at open points. And in this case...
In your home board.
Yeah. In this case, Larry would count that there's 12 checkers in the zone. I don't do that. I count that there's 3 outside the zone. It makes it faster. That's my shortcut.
So if I'm Dennis, I'm taking. Who's taking? Lee, you taking? Who's dropping?
World champion Lee Gnu is not taking. Unworld champion
And
Herb
neither
Roman
is
is taking.
Dennis. Dennis did not want to be down 10-0.
I'm telling you, I
But you know,
wasn't-
Dennis's
again,
probability of winning
great
the
double.
match down 10-0 is 40%. So why
What?
would?
What was that? Hey, change the score.
Oh yeah, they didn't change the score.
Herb, run in there and change the scoreboard, please.
It should be 7-0.
Yeah, Herb, do it, please. Somebody.
The score should be 7-0.
I'll do it.
All right, Phil's going to go in. Thank you, Phil.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Phil, when you come and move the scorecard closer to the table without moving the table, please. Thank you. Yeah, this double twos. Usually it's correct to come down 13 to 11, but in this case, it might be better for Wilcox just to make the opponent's 5 point. But here he's playing both ends of the board. You know, he's trapping. Dennis is the only red checker back there.
That's why I'm here.
And he's protecting most of the outfield, but not all of it. So if red rolls well, red can build a 5-point prime in front of Wilcox, and that's the danger. But he's got to roll well to do it. There's 6 and 1, beautiful for white. So white was nicely set up to make that play. 5-4, he's going to slot the. No, he's not going to slot.
7-5, they wouldn't let me.
Oh, shucks. Thank you, Phil, for making the arrangement. Now the score is correct. And red needs a 6-3 or a 6-4, and then have white not come back. 4-2, so there you go. Red is executing on the strategy of building a 5-point prime in front of white, making things difficult, and then we're going to end up with this nice priming game.
That was a very good goal there for Wilcox. Making the bar is huge, even though he left a shot.
And he hit it. He got a 2-5. So wow, and he look, he's facing down. White better come in, or watch out.
One is huge here.
Oh my gosh! If he rolls a 4-6,
Or one.
is he too good? Let's see what happens. And he rolled a 4-6, and now is he too good? He's. Oh no! He's doubling.
You didn't even think
Oh
about
my gosh! Oh no!
By the way, last night I was watching Dennis play Martin Barkwell in the semifinals. At 2 away, 3 away, he gave a cue just like this that was clearly too good. And the reason I know is because Nesvat was standing next to me and he agreed it was not close, and Dennis later on admitted it. And here he did it again.
Amazing.
It was clearly too good. They had no reason not to roll on there.
What a shame. Because that
you hate to see
could
that.
get an extra point.
Now, could we be wrong? Does anybody disagree with us? That he was too good?
It's close.
Kid says
it's
close? Okay.
Well,
Well, I'm close to an idiot, so sitting right next to me. You would have played on. Yeah, I would have taken more time. That's the one thing I'm sure of, and it's the one thing I teach. You can make all the mistakes you want, but at least think about it and make sure you think about it
and
before you
Wilcox
make a
now is
mistake.
thinking about, does he split or does he come down?
Yeah.
And what's his game plan? So his game plan is to block red, and so he's making the right play. Of course, if he gets hit, that's the danger, but his danger is a lot higher if he splits him.
I'm telling you, I probably would have split. You don't split against stacks generally, and that's what Kit's mantra is, and I'm sure he's right. I'm not saying you should have split. I'm saying I would have split. There's a difference.
All right, so red could hit too. Probably not called for.
What do you roll?
6-1, so he's going to look for safetying up because white only has eight checkers, and so red shouldn't have an issue escaping. He's looking at hitting two. But
If
playing
I'm losing
15 to
7 to 1, I'm hitting 2.
And well, he's not gonna hit 2. All right. That seems reasonable. He's got 10 in the zone now. That's great. And he rolled a 5-6. It didn't come in. It's just a double. It's a double. Easy double. You take.
I passed at this score.
At this score, it's tough.
I pass.
Wow.
I would pass at this score.
All right, how many people are taking this cube? Nobody's taking this cube? No, has anybody? Wow. Okay.
And if Wilcox takes, then everybody's wrong. That's the way I feel. He passed. Okay.
Yeah.
He passed.
It's way too dangerous because red's clearly going to unload on white.
And,
All right, that's
and by
good.
the way, at this score, being down, if your opponent has 1 or 2 points, isn't a very big difference. It's like 4 or 5%.
Phil, you're going to have to run
increase in
over there and make the score 7-3.
Huh?
They didn't change the score again.
No, they did. Isn't it 7-2 now?
Oh,
It's
it is
7-2.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay.
They changed it. It was 7-1. That's my point. Going from 1 to 2 isn't that big an equity loss. So in a position where you might get gammon, you got to drop when you're winning that score.
Yeah.
No, that argument would hold true in any sport.
Yeah.
You just said.
Yeah, going from 1 to 2 is just not much equity gain.
The only reason it's not a take is because
Oh, that's great. Yeah, great point. All right, well, great shot for Wilcox. He's off to a very strong start. Great board, blocking red. Red has only a 1-point board. White has a 3-point board. So we're just looking at the different, attributes here. And Dennis is making finally another point in his own board. And what can White do?
Getting out is a great
Yeah, it was
roll
important.
for Wilcox. He doesn't want to get stuck back
And
there.
now, like with and there's 5-6 who's going to point. This is great. And the reason it doesn't think twice about, even though it's the 1 point, like people don't like making the 1 point. 3-6. What does he do with that?
The reason he didn't think twice is he had no other play. Every play in backgammon is not good or bad. It's only better or worse than the alternatives. And with that 6-5, he had nothing else that would make any sense.
Yeah, this is an interesting 6. Like he is opening himself up to be attacked. And he can hit with a 5 and step up with a 1, which is going to give him 6s next time.
Also gives him more anchors if he gets hit back.
Yeah,
I think you got to split that back checker.
yeah,
yeah, this is the
yeah.
Yeah. You
But
split
he
the back
is thinking
checker.
about it.
If you don't get hit, you're shooting at the 6 and you get out. And if you do get hit, you got more ways
So
to make an anchor.
what's the reason he's thinking
What's
about
he thinking about? Maybe he's thinking about lunch.
So,
like so not close.
Yeah.
yeah, it seems obvious to everybody in the room, which makes me think that we're all missing something. Look at that. That is so interesting.
Playing to not lose rather than playing to win.
Well, see, you avoided the getting hit.
Yeah. None of us like that play that Dennis just made. It doesn't mean he's wrong, but we don't like it. He should have
Yeah.
split, we think.
And coming up to the 5-point seems to make sense. 1s, 2s, and 8s. Double 3s. Gets clear. Wow.
3
It's
down.
3 down. What else are you going to do? Like you say, no choice, right?
Well, you can
This is really tough. for-
bury a checker. You can bury a
Dennis.
checker to the 2, the 3, 4 point. But
Yeah,
yeah, this is
That's
reasonable.
okay.
That's reasonable.
both are reasonable.
I like 3 down, but giving up the midpoint's kind of a problem. Was
Well-
it 1993 that you wrote the article, Kid, on the importance of the midpoint in these games? I think it was. Not in this game, it was back games, called The Importance of Holding the Midpoint,
All right,
1993.
so, Wilcox, he's looking at his numbers, like the 6-5, you might seem, oh, let's just run, and the other guy's got a 4-point board, so, but he's leaving shots, right? He's got a 4-3 and a 4-4 and a 1-6 and a 1-7. Okay.
Yeah, on a 1-7, yeah.
All right, so he's going to make his 2-point.
Well, is this a take? No. Is it a double? I don't know. No, we know it's not a take. So it's got to be a double unless it's too good. At this score, could it be too good? Kid says no, so you think double pass, right? Kid thinks clear double pass.
Yeah, so the doubling cube, like for money, this would be a drop.
Yeah, I would think about whether or not I'm too good. That's the only that's my only consideration here.
A low gammon position with risk, not only now,
Yeah.
but later.
So even if Wilcox closes his board, gammons are only about 15% when you're holding the ace point. So that's Kit's point. You don't get that many gammons even if everything goes well, compared to the risk of losing.
So far been replaced that he got crushed by it. White has a ton of time. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Am I too good?
I think he's too good.
There aren't a whole lot of market gainers for Dennis. Double 4 would be a market gainer, or a 4 hit would be a market gainer. That's about it.
This roll, what about next roll?
But all you care about is one roll at a time on market gainers.
True, but you still have to look at the fact that it's not going to be the chin play on next roll. It's still going to heads.
You got to worry about it every roll. Got to worry about it every roll. So Kit thinks ahead. I don't. So there.
All right, so what's going on here? Dennis has double twos, and he's thinking about how to play it.
No.
Wilcox is thinking about doubling.
Yeah, he's thinking whether he's too good, and he's decided he's not. And we all think Dennis has a big pass here.
Hit your clock, Will.
I can't imagine the score.
I wasn't
And
sure
he
what
does
was going on.
pass.
I had to
Yeah,
make sure.
yeah.
I wasn't sure what happened.
No, he
I was
hasn't.
assuming I doubled
Yeah,
and
he
we just
passed.
stopped
He
the
passed.
clock, so that's all.
He passed.
Okay. 2-8.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the
Yeah,
reason.
White doesn't have bad rolls, but his opponent has good rolls. That's what he's worried about. I would have played on. But if
Okay.
Wilcox doubled, I'll
I
bet
don't
you
play
money
live
it's
very
right.
often, so
I don't
not-
bet against Wilcox.
Play more than me.
Probably.
You know, it's amazing. He
But,
hasn't played in
we've
20
not had a
years.
local club.
This is a guy.
No, he hasn't played in
30
the
years.
United States. He played in Monte Carlo, he's played in some other
Oh, okay, it's
tournaments.
the U.S.
He hasn't played in the
But has
U.S.
he played a lot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the last
Oh,
20 years?
he's played a lot. He's
Okay.
played online.
Live,
His PRs are
December
amazing. He's
27th
not.
or 28th.
No, I
not
thought he
just
was
now
like
coming
one of these
back. For
people,
sure.
like
No,
just.
no.
All of last year, I
He
almost
did,
got shut out. I had
but that,
no
but
idea
that was
what
5 years ago that it was 20 years.
Oh, it's
The last 5 years,
20 years.
last 4 or 5 years. Let's ask his wife. Has he been playing? A lot.
Yeah, he's been
For the
playing.
last 4 years, he's been playing a lot. And you know why he's playing? Yeah, even before that. Yeah. And the reason he's playing is mostly because his kid got him back into the game.
Wow.
He said he wanted to keep up with his kid. It's embarrassing when your kid's better than you, right? That's why he's doing it.
But, you know, can he
Yeah. Kid's lovely wife and daughter are here. Yeah. You know why Kit's going to win this match? Kit's going to win this match because his lovely wife and daughter are here rooting, while Dennis's wife is on a cruise spending money and losing in the casino. So he's got an edge with the family here.
All right, is that double fives? Or is it 5-4?
Looks like it. Looks like it.
Because double fives are really interesting setup here. It is
Double
double
fives.
fives. And, you know, it's not, double five's great, you get 20 pips, but it's not everybody's favorite. Now, on the other hand, this is not a great roll for Dennis.
Well, you know what my friend Emo Phillips says, the famous comedian? He says, on the other hand, I have 5 fingers.
Oh,
So every time I hear on the other hand, I think of that.
2 and 1.
All right. What do you do with a 4 if you're Wilcox here? Do you hit loose and keep going? Oh, now you come down and make the
I think you want to make the 5 point.
Yeah. And the 3 comes down, I
I
guess.
think you want to make the 5 point. Yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. I mean, Red's not in any danger of being hit in his home board.
Now he
that's for
comes
sure.
down with 2, I guess. Yeah. He does.
You wouldn't play 6 to 3.
Nope. And now a 6 is very, very big for Dennis, and he gets it
Yeah.
and continues, obviously. And now Dennis just got back in this game.
Has the tide turned?
Yeah, the tide turned.
Yeah.
He was in trouble.
Dennis has.
He was in big trouble before
Wilcox
that
right where he
6.
wants him, losing 8 to 2. Okay.
Kid thinks Dennis has a double here. Easy double. Is it a take? Don't forget Woolsey's Law, Kit.
Yeah. So it's interesting. These guys are talking about whether or not this is a double, and it seems pretty clear.
I think the take is clear also.
in the room that it is a double, and the reason is, even though you know it could be anybody's game, there's good gammon chances for Red, and White has those checkers deep in the board, which limits White's game plans. White doesn't have a lot of game plans. It's basically you got to race.
Well,
just
when
White's
he
ahead.
made having the ace point made and the deuce point slotted is a very big negative. You're right, Larry. That's a huge negative for White, but I still think I'm taking.
And is Dennis doubling? So
Of
finally,
course.
he's turning the cube.
Yeah. I
A
wouldn't be
lot of us
surprised if
would
he
have given it
passed.
very quickly.
Who's taking? Who's taking? Who's taking with me? Anybody?
Yeah,
We got a few. Okay.
I'm a take. Olivia's a take. Go, girl. That's a lot of fun. Yeah, this is great. So this is the tension of the game. So this is what makes backgammon so much fun. You have these situations where even great players, best players in the world, have no idea what to do.
I run a couple tournaments in Jamaica. If you were in Jamaica right now, the crowd would be yelling, "Take it, take it, take it." They'd be screaming. He took
And he
it.
took it! He took the double.
I'm with him. I'm with Wilcox.
Let's go. 4-3. And yeah, bring a checker down. Yeah, block him up. This is great. So it's really not that risky for red to leave that 5 shot because it's dangerous. You know, he's going to get a 3rd checker back. Yeah, he doesn't even think twice
Doesn't
about
even hit.
leaving the anchor. to
Doesn't
hit.
even hit.
It's a blot.
Maybe he didn't see it.
I was going to say double 5s is
Oh,
the
boy.
only roll where it would go, and the wrong guy rolled double 5s, right?
So if you make 2 points, how many shots are there? There's double 4, 4, 5, 2, 4, and 2, 5.
well, he needs a 2 or a 4 to come in.
I'm not sure if you make the 4-pointer. That's a lot of shots.
Yeah, maybe you come in.
Double
well, you
4,
wanna
4,
block
5,
the
2, 4,
sixes,
2,
though.
5. Am I missing something?
Yeah,
2BHD squared.
yeah, that's probably. Yeah. Whoa, there's that. Oh, nice.
I don't like that.
Dennis.
I think I would have taken the chance of leaving the shots.
Does he
Taking the
hit?
inner
2-4 does not.
I would have been hit.
Yeah, I like to
been hit.
play because he gets off the midpoint. You know, red is so far ahead in this race. You know, double 4s. That's painful. But you know, he's only leaving 1 blot, and he clears. But he can't get off that stack. Look at that stack, smokestack. Those are going to be illegal soon. Okay, 5-6. He stays out. Can he gammon him? Oh, double 1s.
It's a great roll. He needed to diversify his
Dang,
checkers.
yes, look at that.
Excellent roll for Dennis.
All right. 4-6, nice.
That's very good because it's gonna greatly reduce the gammon risk for
You know, if he rolled a 3-2 or 3-4, 3-5, he couldn't move the checker from the
But
3-point.
this cuts down the gammons for Wilcox
That's
quite a
down the
bit.
gammons.
Quite a
Yeah,
bit.
definitely. 5-1 gets two checkers in. Oh, this is fun. All right, so Dennis is going to win this game, most likely. Unless
probably not again.
Wilcox beats him in the race.
No, unless he gets a shot and hits it.
After rolling double 6s. I've seen people lose this race. I mean, I've lost this race.
We all
4-1.
have. We all.
Now, what do you break here? No, you got to
think
break off the 8-point, right? I mean, that's a choice. You could also play 6-1.
You can't break off the 8-point. 7-point. You meant.
7-point.
Yeah,
Thank you.
meant 7.
Yeah.
This is my play.
And Phil likes this play. Of course, don't roll a 4-3 next time. Whatever you do.
Don't say that out loud.
1, 2, 3. And is he going to come in, or he probably goes 7-6? Wilcox is saving the extra. Slightly.
He's saying he's not worried about the gammons. He's not worried. He's
He's
just playing for position.
Yeah, he's looking for the.
Yeah. And you always get gammon when you do that.
I know, right?
Right.
We were just joking around after double 6. He's going to win the race. All right, but he does that. Do we have a 4-3 followed by some more action? We have a 6-3. No.
He's happy as long as he doesn't roll a 4.
And doesn't repeat
And
the
next
roll.
time he's happy as long as he doesn't roll a 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of problematic things there. 3. Does he go 2-1? Does he go 6-5? What's the play here?
Why 6? Why 5 to 4? What? Yeah, but you're having a worse point in case you get the shot. You get a shot right now with 6-3.
Oh, 5-2, he's getting in. This is coming up down the wire. So, all right, 3-1.
Covers.
He did it. Look at
So
that.
the only bad numbers are 2s here.
Double 5s. Ooh. Well, he's going to take 2 5s off. It's easy.
It's forced. It's forced.
Dennis is taking his time thinking about
No,
this.
it's forced. This is a forced play. 2 off and 2 over.
I think he ought to play for the game. So he would have gotten away with it. 5-3.
All right, he needs a low number here. He needs a 1, 2, or a 3 or doubles.
All right, 3-2 works.
Yeah.
Just take him off. Let's go rip.
I'm not sure you rip here.
You got to.
I don't think you rip. You take 1 off the 5.
Take the 1 off the 5. That's what I'm.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
rip
Rip means
means-
take
rip
both.
means you
Oh,
take
take
both
everything
off.
off. I meant ripping off the 5. So that was my riff
That
on
was
the
a
rip.
rip. That was a rip off.
That was a. Yeah, definitely want to take 1 off.
No
The reason that
ones,
you don't want
no
to
ones.
repeat shots.
Oh!
Look, he did it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, he can come back.
This could be the whole match. Right
Wilcox.
here. This could be the whole match.
Can he do it? He
did.
Unbelievable. This is every backgammon player's worst nightmare. Worst nightmare just came
How many checkers
true.
are off? 3 or 4?
Now you're down.
How many checkers
Four.
are off? Anybody know? Is it 3?
5. 5 checkers. 4 checkers off.
Huh?
He's so hampered.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no chance to recue
No
here
recue.
until it's complete gin.
Yeah,
But how many
well,
checkers are off?
There's 4 checkers
4
off.
checkers off? So normally with
No, I
4
think, no, there's more than 4.
it might be 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 5 off.
5 off.
No, it's not a cube. No. I mean, it's.
With 5 off and a
a
closed
cube for
board,
money, but
with
not
5
in-
off, a closed board, and a perfect bear off, it's right about 21.5%.
Yeah.
It's right on the edge
Yep.
for money. But here
That's
you've
just
got
a,
to be much,
you know,
much
so this
more
is
than
a
double.
reference position that Phil's talking about that most players do know. If you have 5 checkers off, it's barely a double. It's barely a 10.
So the
but it's a
real
double.
question is, when does Wilcox have a redouble, if ever? And I think it's when he's like 94%, maybe?
2 more rolls.
2 more rolls, kid
2
says.
more rolls gets that. Okay. Wow.
Depending on distribution.
Yeah, because you could leave a shot. You know, look.
If those
look,
2
that's
more
like
rolls
a
could
shot.
leave a shot, that's
Maybe
the,
one more.
maybe one more. Okay.
All right, Kit's reconsidering.
So it's when he's going to be about 94, 95% before he could recue.
Well, he's thinking about it now. Wouldn't this be something?
Actually, next roll it might be there.
Does it matter, Kit, that red has a blot in the home
Oh,
board?
yes.
In terms of that calculus, not much.
Matters to me.
That's right, Phil. But you know, Phil is the sensitive type, so things matter to Phil.
No,
And
if
that's
there-
good.
If,
That's a
if,
good
if there's a
quality.
chance for leaving a shot, that's huge. But what Kit's saying is, at this point, it doesn't look like shots are very likely. Yeah.
It's better off with the checkers than weak points. It's better with
So you got more checkers in play. Yeah.
It's about wastage. It's
Yeah.
about wastage.
Oh, wastage.
We talked about this yesterday.
Wow, this is Wilcox. Now, what's the time sitch? So Wilcox is down to 6 minutes and 13 minutes for Dennis.
If I'm in the finals of a major
So-
tournament and I'm killing the guy, I want to take as long as possible. I want more people watching me than I could possibly have. In fact, I'd call a timeout here and call my
Can we take a
friends,
bathroom break?
tell them to come watch. I don't want the game to end when it's this much fun. Wilcox, this is his first tournament in the U.S. in 20-something years, and it looks like he's going to win it. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it really is impressive. And pretty
What's
quickly,
impressive
too.
is to be the top player in the world 30 years ago, and come back and still be maybe, I won't say he's the top, but he's certainly right there.
All right, so he's thinking about doubling right now. The 4-2's been played by Red, who stayed out.
Yeah.
And so White's thinking about doubling, and what exactly is Wilcox thinking? He's calculating.
He's thinking about if he
probabilities.
loses his market by taking 2 checkers off.
He's close to that. I thought he's 1 roll away.
And so
Kid thinks he's 1 roll away. Oh, he's redoubling now.
he's redoubling
Most of
now.
us agree that Dennis should take.
Yeah. Well, you flip it to
I'm
8.
taking. I'm taking.
Take it and flip it.
First of all, are you taking against Wilcox Snelling? That's the question. Absolutely.
Well, you know, so let's look at what's happening here. So Dennis's choices are, if he takes the double,
Yeah,
he's
against
going to
Roman, it's a
recube it
pass.
back to 8 because he's going to lose the game if he loses 4 points anyway. So he might as well turn it to 8. So if he loses 4 points or 8 points, who cares? But if he takes the cube at 8 and he wins, he'll actually be ahead in the match 10 to 8.
He becomes a
at Crawford.
68% favorite in the match if he takes and wins at 8.
What?
Isn't that 3? Oh, it'd be 3 away. Oh, he's 75%.
Crawford.
So he's 75%.
Yeah.
75% if he takes and wins.
Yeah. So
I thought it was 2 away.
So he, you know, that's nice, but he's got to get to that 75%, and the only way to do that is if.
So he's going to be 75% or 0,
If he
and
has
he has
a-
to calculate the odds of winning or losing based on that.
Yeah, there's a lot of math calculation going on here, and a lot of players do this by feel. Like Falafel probably was a great player, and just by feel he would kind of know.
Akiko would
what
do
the
this
right
by feel
place.
too.
Akiko would.
And Kit Woolsey and
Where's
would
Carter?
do the math.
Carter would do this by feel.
No, Carter would do this by flipping a coin.
Check equity behind 10.
Pardon me?
10-2 match equity.
10-2 match
Crawford.
equity at Crawford.
So he's got to win 1,
6%.
2, 3, 4,
6%.
5.
6%.
That's my guess. I can look it up.
I think it's probably more like 4,
So
but
he's risking 6% in order to gain 75 minus, in order to gain 69%. So he's getting like 11 to 1 odds or so.
all right. Well, Kid is definitely doing the math. So what do you think? What does that mean?
I think he takes.
That means it's a take. All right, how many people think peanut gallery, is this hands up please, is this a take? If you're taking, you're playing for $1 million, do you take this? Okay, we got only a few. How many of you drop? And what about the rest of you?
Kid,
Most of you want to drop.
I was off by 1%. It's 7%.
Oh, it's 7%?
7%.
Okay, cool.
Not 6%.
Wow, it's that high. I guess with the gammon chance, that's right, that's what I missed.
That could change things a lot.
Wow, this is really great. Both players, look how much time we're taking. Like, Wilcox took 2 or 3 minutes to think about this before doubling. They have the time.
They're
Dennis
playing, by the way, we haven't mentioned
taken
it,
3 minutes.
They're playing for thousands of dollars and a very important trophy. How much do you use your clock? Why wouldn't you use your clock?
Why is time an issue?
Yeah, time isn't an issue, unless you're low in time.
Yeah, they have the luxury
Yeah.
of taking the time here.
Now, players in a match are not allowed to use any aids. They can't write anything down. They can't even write it down. He's got to do it all in his head.
They could use fingers.
And I have heard,
Right.
well, you can use your fingers and you can use other parts of your body. I won't mention. I use one part a lot, but I get in trouble for that. The point here, though, is the math is not that simple. And
Yeah.
also, after you've done the math, then you've got to figure out what are your odds of winning this game. Who in the world, except XG, could estimate exactly what your odds are? Yeah? Tell me what your odds are winning this game. What's Red's odds of winning?
Well, for example, if he rolls, he's got a 1/9, 127.
Afterwards, you should interview Will Cox if you win. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
bring him right here.
Yeah, bring here. Great. Thank you, Phil. So, how do you figure out the odds? Like, one way to do it,
I don't
for
think it's a
example,
blunder either way.
One way to figure out the odds in this situation is, there's a lot of discussion about this, it's great, is, look, White's going to roll something, probably leave 2 situations where if he rolls doubles, Red will have a shot, for argument's sake. Let's just use that.
No,
So if
but
that's
if he
true,
rolls a 6 right away,
the
then
first
some high
time-
numbers.
the first time, and that's another possibility. So we'll count that separately. So Red can win by either hitting a checker or by actually winning the race. Like if Red rolls double 6s, he might actually be close to being a favorite. So we want to add that in, which probably leads us towards making this a take. But if we look at it, there's a, let's say, 100% chance, 80% chance he's going to leave a shot. No, 50% chance.
He passed.
He's going to pass.
He passed.
50% chance he leaves a shot and twice. So he gets 2 times. Let's say he gets a shot twice.
It's not simple. Okay, so here's where we are,
It's
ladies
really
and gentlemen. He has passed, and as we already looked up
Yes,
the
I
answer,
understand
we
that.
know that the odds of Wilcox winning are 93%.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Somebody put in an XG to figure it out?
Yes.
Okay.
Huh? 93% is Wilcox odds of winning from this point, winning the match.
Dang. Oh,
Yeah.
winning the match. Oh, winning the match. Okay.
Winning the match.
But that game was a lot.
Oh, that game we
less
don't
than
know. No, the match. The match equity at this point is 93%.
A lot of us would have taken that double in tennis.
Huh?
There we go. Hopefully they can see it. Yeah. Okay.
Martha says it depends on whether you have an iOS or an Android. One says it's a pass, the other says it's a take. Like Phil said, doesn't matter. You nailed it. I mean, it's one of those things. You just don't know. Fascinating. All right, we're at the next game.
So that
Dennis
situation,
cannot
by the
lose a
way,
game. That's it.
that
for the rest of the
situation
match.
reminds me of one of my favorite
love
stories of all time. I'm in the semifinals of a match with Mochi. I had a very tough decision. I took out a coin and I said, heads I take. I flipped it. He caught it out of the air and he said, I'd rather you decide. He figured I'm more likely to make the wrong decision if I had to think about it than if I left it to
That's
fate.
hysterical. That's great.
Yeah, that's why he stopped it too. It's an aid.
All right, here we go. All right, so Wilcox has Dennis on the bar twice, and he comes in with a 2-3. and so he's looking okay.
We should explain the Crawford rule. When,
Oh, yeah.
when
Go ahead,
Wilcox
Phil.
needs 1 point to win the match, for one game, Dennis cannot double. Otherwise, you would automatically double if your opponent needed 1 point. Now, if Dennis were to win this game, then he would certainly double on the first roll every game thereafter because Wilcox only needs 1 point.
Yeah, so think about it this way. You know, when they invented the doubling cube, either player can double when it's their roll. But then the player who was winning, and let's say in a match to 11, a player like Wilcox got to 10 points, they were kind of annoyed that they worked so hard and then the other opponent just keeps doubling the first roll of every game. And they said, that's not really fair to the player who's ahead. So what they said was, okay, we're going to take the player who's ahead and say, we're going to give them a little bit of advantage by saying, for their hard work, by saying on the first game that they get to within 1 point, the other player's not allowed to double. And that was the Crawford rule. By a well-known player, Crawford. And
John
another
Crawford,
one,
he was also a great bridge player.
a great bridge player. Oswald Jacoby, also a great bridge player and a great backgammon player, and they wrote a book together.
And let's talk about Kit Woolsey, who's also a great backgammon player, bridge player. We have several in that field.
A lot of great talent. here.
Ronnie Rubin,
Yep.
Hal Mauser.
Wow. All right, 5-4 for, and he's going to hit. I mean, I'm sorry, he's going to roll. Or Red's on roll.
Run, yeah.
He's going to run.
Okay, you got to like Wilcox's position. Although he's losing the race and has 3 checkers back, he's got a advanced anchor, which is worth a lot.
And a better board. It's got 3 points in his own
It's
board.
called the golden point when you're holding your opponent's 5 point, it's the 20 point, because it does 2 good things. You got it and your opponent can't get it.
And Wilcox has both his 5 point and his opponent's 5 point, which makes him, all things equal, a great favorite. 3-2 doesn't hit.
It doesn't come up. I guess because you're...
And he's going to come up to the
He
5.
does come up,
Yeah,
yes.
because that way his doubles play well.
And
Right?
he can get out. He just doesn't want to get blitzed or hit.
Yep. And there's 6-1. Nice. Oh, that's great for Dennis. That bar point is really important.
Now, there's also one thing that everybody forgets. Because Dennis is far behind, everybody thinks he should play for a gammon. But at this score,
Doesn't help him that much.
all it does is eliminate a free drop. So you need to think about that ahead of time. Because if you were behind and you
Yeah,
started
right.
playing aggressively for gammons here, you'd be making a big mistake.
So
And if
Phil's-
you were ahead and you were Wilcox and you started playing protecting from gammons, you would also be making a big mistake.
Phil's talking about a free drop, and what is that? So let's say Dennis wins this game. Obviously, if he loses, the match is over. So let's say it's 10-3. The first roll Dennis has, he can double, right? Because there's no more Crawford rule. So let's say he doubles. Well, Wilcox doesn't have to take it. He could just say, you know what, I'm already behind. I'm gonna drop this double. It's called a free drop because that's what it's called.
Yes, but there's one more factor. At 10-3, you're not going to exercise your free drop just because you're a little behind, because you'll save it. It's a pure free drop only when it's 10-9.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
All right, let's see what's going on here. This game could swing either way. We got an interesting game here.
5-2. So Wilcox is playing quickly now because he only has 4 minutes 45 seconds, which is still a lot of time. But he's
It's a lot of time for Wilcox. He can
he's
play.
cognizant.
He can play a 25-point match from here. Remember, every time you roll the dice, you've got 12 seconds free without your clock moving. We're using chess clocks, which I love.
All right, 6-5.
This is dicey.
No pun intended.
No, I intended the pun.
So the 6, he could slot the 4 point, or I mean, what do you
He's
do?
totally stripped after he makes this play, though. Is that it's the problem?
Yeah.
He's thinking about volunteering now while there's a blot in the board.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Oh, leave the 5 point. Ouch.
That's my play right here.
13.
Right here.
15
'Cause
to
if
4.
you
This is a hard play. This is a hard play. People are already having heated arguments in the peanut gallery about what the right play is over here. You know, for some reason, in backgammon, 6-5s are hard plays to make. I don't know why that is, but they often result in the most difficult
I have a saying:
decisions.
2 backgammon players, 3 opinions. This is not a bad play either. I just didn't like clearing the 9 point, the 10 point. I mean, because you're way too stiff.
Oh, nice hit.
And you're not
you know,
gonna
White
get
has
hit.
2 blots in
Yeah.
the home board.
Yeah.
Let's
That was
see.
a big, big hit for Dennis. His equity just went from 7% to 8%. I'm starting to like Dennis's game here quite a bit because Wilcox is really stiff and likely to leave shots. Now I like it a lot more. Now that he's made the inner board point.
Wow.
So, again, Dennis would love to double here, but the Crawford rule won't let him do that. But Wilcox is far from out of this game. Do you make the 4-point or save a 5?
So you see what he did there. He played the 2 that he knew he was going to play.
Yeah. I didn't know I was going to play that too. You
wasn't
don't make the
Phil's
ace
too.
point. I knew I wasn't.
Oh, he rolls double 4s. Look, what a great roll.
That's a big roll. That's a big roll.
Well, we have to play this game out to the end.
So
because,
what's his
like,
equity
we're
if he
Crawford.
wins 1 point and it's past his post Crawford? Let's take a look.
All right, Phil's going to check the
Yeah,
match
it'd
equity.
be
table.
1 away, 9 away, post Crawford. He goes to 10%. Goes from 7 to 10%. Oh, it'd be 8 away? That's even better. I'm sorry. Thank you. 1 away, 8 away. One away, 8 away. Yep, Kit's got it, 12%.
That's
Anyway,
impressive.
it improves. I knew it was going to improve. I was sure of that.
Woo!
With 2 points, with 2 blots in Wilcox's inner board, I would be very, very tempted to leave the shot, as opposed to clearing. Because you clear the 6-point, it's going to get harder and harder, and Wilcox's board is only going to get better. So I would volunteer. Even though they say never volunteer, that's not true in backgammon. I don't like that play.
All right, Dennis. Yeah, because he's got time to make his board now, right? Oof.
Well, he's got to come out with a 4.
He needed an odd number,
Yeah.
and he didn't get it.
Well, I think this is kind of odd.
Yeah, it's kind of. So what does he do? Does he come out with a 4, or he plays safely in the home board? I mean, that looks like
This is my play.
that's my play
This is
too.
my play.
He's going to leave a lot of numbers.
Well, even if he gets hit with a 1 or a 2, there's a lot of return shots.
Yeah, there's a lot of return shots after
The
this.
more you crash your board, yeah.
Yeah. So 4-1. Yeah, he
He's
can't,
not even gonna hit.
He can't even hit.
He's not even going to hit. There's a lot of ones he's not, 1s and 2s he wouldn't hit
Not
with.
even hit. Just play safe. He's going to hit. Oh, he's not going to hit.
He's not going to hit.
He can't do this.
He's just having
Can
fun.
he do this? He might do
He
this.
can't do this.
Well, you got 5-4, 5-5, 6-3, 6-4,
One thing is he's not worried about getting
6-4,
gammon, so that makes the play a little bit.
6-5. There's a lot of numbers that hit.
Yeah, I just don't believe he's going to do this.
5-1 and 6-1 don't hit, but I think just about. Oh, then 5-1 and 5-2 don't hit. 5-1 and 6-2 don't hit.
How's his time? Is he in good shape?
Oh yeah, and the time.
He's got 6 minutes. He's okay.
6 minutes 20 seconds, 3 minutes 20 seconds. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
he
makes
can't
sense.
risk.
This is why this argues for another reason why Wilcox is right to come out.
Yeah. Gives the opponent an opportunity to make a bad mistake, right?
There are no good mistakes.
That's true.
He didn't have to. Could have played out the 6.
Trying to win the game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Kit said it was forced, basically.
What's forced to play?
No,
8
Kit
to
to
3.
come out with a 4.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Do you like this hit or not, Kit?
Oh, he does it. Dennis does it. He's got like 12 shots or something. But he stays 6-2. Doesn't do it. Yeah, that's one of the numbers that doesn't hit.
Wow.
Boy, he's having trouble rolling odd numbers. Now this is not good. Oh, 6-2.
It clears.
Oh,
It clears.
yeah, it clears. But boy, is this ugly.
All you can do, just clear.
I guess that's the, you don't want to take a chance.
Even if you're successful with the hit, I don't like my game.
Oh, why is he rolling that guy?
Because he doesn't want to get picked and passed with too many shots.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, he's got to leave a shot. This is a shot.
Well, I think you have to clear from the rear with both checkers, otherwise you're leaving more shots and harder to. Why? Why? Because you have to. That's why.
And he didn't hit. He rolled a 5-4. Oh, this is rough. Oh, no, oh, yeah, Wilcox. Okay, yeah, he's leaving the two guys there. Just like, let's go. He's going to be there till the end.
You don't want to get picked and passed.
What did he roll? 2-6.
Okay. Now he's going to have to go with one checker, and it's pretty hard.
Yeah.
On the checkers
Well, this
doesn't
is really
count.
coming down to it. 5-3 can do
Goodbye.
it. Double threes would have been rough. One of those rolls. Whew. Okay, what has he got?
Got cocked dice.
6-3. Can play safe.
Barely, barely.
I know. Imagine if he rolls it now.
This race is far from gin.
I know, right? Is he going to
Kid
consider
reminds us
running?
it's still a race, too. It's not just about hitting.
Yeah, there's too many shots. He's going to stay back. Oh, what a great roll! Double ones. Well, he could hit, pick and pass, but no.
If you pick and pass, you're going to improve your race tremendously. That's
He's
one of
not
the big
that far
advantages.
ahead in the race, but you know,
Yeah,
he's doing
that's-
the race count now. He's checking
Yeah,
it
but
out.
it's not just about the
20.
race count. He's got a lot of wastage.
35, 40. Yeah, he's got 4. What the EPC
Yeah.
matters.
I
They
would
have a
hit-
thing called an
I would pick
effective
and pass.
pip count,
He should
which
look-
is you
he's
take
looking
the
at it.
actual pip count, but you then adjust it for the effective pip count. What the heck does that mean? So, for example, white has 5, red has 5 checkers on the 1 point. You would think, oh, that's a pip count of 5, but it's actually more because
It's 8 more, according to Mr. Trice and Mr. Keith.
because
All right, he hit.
you need high.
We,
You know,
we
you're
like
not
that
going to
play.
roll ones. You're
We
going
like
to
that
take it
play.
off with a 4, 5, 6, or a 2 or 3.
All right, Dennis is a huge favorite to win this game, which means when I say that, he'll probably lose, right?
Oh, this is. Yeah.
Now, it's pretty hard for him to lose this game. Good. I want to see more action. I'm not rooting for either player. I just want to.
Oh, it's
I like
6-4.
talking. I like
He's off
being
the
here.
bar.
It keeps me in the seat
Phil,
longer.
it's a pleasure to have you here.
I get paid by the hour here, so I want them to keep going.
Well, they're going to keep doing that. He's got 3 checkers off. He's got 5 checkers off. If he gets the doubles, he's got 5 and 1. So it's Wilcox needs 2 sets.
Yeah.
He needs 3 sets now.
That's the nail in the coffin.
No, it's over.
They stop. It's
That's
over.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
3
you're
sets,
going to
1
see. You're going to see Dennis doubling immediately. Oh, that was good, taking 2 points. Yeah.
It's clever.
10,
Yeah.
5-minute break?
And
Okay.
while Wilcox does have a free drop, it doesn't cost him anything to drop. He'll still only use it if he's really hurt. All right, they're taking a break.
And they are taking a break.
Wilcox just couldn't stand losing that
Well
game.
deserved.
And while we're taking a break, in the Hall of Fame, and it was just a great get-together last night. And my next tournament is going to be San Antonio and possibly Atlanta before that. I'm looking, no, right after that would be Atlanta. And so I encourage people to come to these tournaments because it's 10 times more fun to be here than watching it. Even though you don't get to hear me and Larry while you're playing, it's still more fun to play. So I'm going to get a glass of water and take a little break too.
Yeah, we're going to take, commentators are going to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome to New York Metro Backgammon with Phil Simborg and Larry Shiller, voice of Backgammon. We'll be back shortly on the finals in the championship.
Are you in for Wednesday night? I'm sorry, what about Wednesday? Are you, Wednesday night, we have a great dinner planned at, El Molino. You're invited.
Might be able to get back in the room.
We'd love to have you, in fact, what about Tuesday? What about Tuesday? Oh, I just got something from the restaurant. Yeah, Mr. 17th. And I sent them an email saying, "You're my guest." Yeah, I think. Time is the University Club Monday? 6 o'clock. I gotta write this stuff down. No shit. Is my mic on or off?
It's on. Mic is on.
Okay, good. So we are broadcasting. Are they back? Okay.
I was in that Shiller.
How'd you do?
I went to sleep at 9 o'clock, and I woke up at 3, and I came down, and the Kiko was still playing.
How did you do in the Chouette?
I lost 9 points.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
How was she doing?
Up and down.
She's amazing. She's very volatile. Well, I'm
When you come back,
You know, one of the things I love about doing this commentary, first of all, I love working with Larry Shiller. I think he's one of the most exciting and fun. In spite of your intellect, I think it's great. But I also enjoy having, we got a huge crowd here with a lot of really great players. A lot of giants, a lot of famous people. Yeah, and we're getting good advice from Kit Woolsey and Victor Ashkenazi, and you know, there's a lot. It's really fun to have the people watching. All right, we're getting ready to start again. Again, we know that that Dennis has got about 12% chance of winning here, which is not a lot. I mean, not a little. 12%. We see that happen over and over and over again in the world. So
Yeah.
here we go. They're starting.
That's like coming into getting both checkers into a 4-point board, right?
Now it's interesting. Here's
4-3.
here's
So yeah, so this is Wilcox. You know, we talked about this earlier.
and he used his free drop, and I think he should. He was way down in this
All right.
game. This is even though he
Well,
even though he could have
to be
saved
clear,
the free
it's
drop.
not a free drop because that's only a 10-9. To be clear,
This is a free drop.
it's not a free drop
Why isn't it a free drop?
because the score's not 10-9. There's only one free drop in a match.
No, there's many free drops in a match.
No, this is an inexpensive drop. It's not a free drop.
You're getting semantics with me, but everybody I know calls that a free drop. Did they change the score? They didn't change the score, did they?
They did not change
No,
the score.
he wouldn't have a free
Oh, no.
drop if it was a 2. Come on, I got to change the score. It should be 4.
All right, Phil's going to change the score. Thank you, Phil. Yes, okay. We're now actually playing out the match. And Wilcox is playing quickly. They're down. He's down to 3 minutes. I can't tell what this number is. It is a 1-5.
Every time you see me, you know, don't you?
Yeah, there's a correlation.
And it's really a question of who's ahead or behind, but making that bar point, the midpoint, is really, the bar point, I'm sorry, is really important because it restricts White's movement a lot. Like this play, 6-3, White has to, unless White makes a point, White's got to play behind Red's checker on the 3-point.
Wilcox says every time I walk in, he
6-3
knows
is the roll.
why.
6-3 is the roll here. And that's, I'm not sure what else Dennis could do in this situation to give himself the best chance, maintain contact. So you notice that Red's checkers are connected. There's this term backgammon players use called connected checkers. And that's
Connectivity.
if one checker, if the biggest separation between Red's checkers is not less than is six checkers or less, then all his checkers are connected. And right now, all his checkers are connected. Now they're not connected because
If they're not connected, they're disconnected.
they're disconnected. That's exactly. Thank you, Phil.
I don't mean to diss you.
No, that is perfect. I needed that.
Again,
Or they're unconnected.
I think this
Well,
was
they're
it. No,
unconnected.
tested out
So,
63 again.
I'm not sure what he's thinking about.
Yeah, let's double check. You very.
There's another play would
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
to
yeah.
play from the
I'm not
3-point
sure.
over
Yeah,
to the
definitely
midpoint,
not
and really stack them up there, which also leaves his checkers
We already-
mostly
Let's
connected.
not forget about the
You asked.
number one thing you should be thinking about in checker play. What is my game plan? You're down in the race. You want to get a shot and hit here. You've made your ace point. The game plan for Dennis is to get a shot and hit it.
How much is he down in the race?
Yeah, that's a good question. Right. Let's do I'll do a pip count.
I don't think he's down as much as we think.
So I'll do Red. Red's got
But he
24,
also has the
22
better
is
inner board and
46,
made the ace
and
point.
18 is 64, and
I'm sorry?
Question on the starting position, can you look back?
Yeah, look
Oh,
back at the
yes.
starting position.
sure.
I think the score's wrong.
Dennis, you
too. I
want to
think
come
you're
over and
winning.
take a look?
I think you're winning, Dennis.
Dennis, come on over, and we'll go here to YouTube and see what that looks like. So, is this
the
the
clock
live
stopped?
chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, you stop. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, we're in break,
We don't
and
have
then
an
we're after
XGP,
break.
But in my own opinion, you guys are playing great, both of you.
All right, let's see. Does that look, is that helpful? No, that's where we are. This is the starting position.
It is, okay. Well, that's what we wanted to make sure that.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, we went on YouTube to just make sure that we had the correct starting position.
This is the starting position.
This is the starting position. Is that-
Bill, what do you think the race is?
What do I think the race is?
Just look at it. Don't try to count it.
Okay.
all right, I'll count it. I got 24, 22.
What do I think the race is?
18, 64.
I think that Wilcox is winning by 3 pips.
138.
Huh? Before the roll.
Sorry about that.
Before
I
the
wasn't
roll.
sure. Yeah.
I mean, without doing any counting.
Okay, so.
It's close. The
Yeah,
reason I
start.
think it's a hitting game, though, is he's made his ace point and 3 points. He's got more of an advantage
Okay.
playing a hitting game than he has playing a racing game.
I got 157, 141. So that's 16 pips for White.
White's leading.
I think making the bar point is.
Yeah, White's leader. Making the, you mean, yeah, making the bar point. Yeah,
So Kit liked making the bar point.
yeah, me too.
Didn't
I
think it was close.
You're guarding against two points which have to be clear.
That's right, right? 2 points have to be clear. So Kit Wilsey is saying, arguing for
All right.
making the bar point.
This is not an
Didn't
easy
happen.
play. This is not an easy play. Automatically, I usually make the 5 point here, but leaving a blot when your opponent has a stronger board and at this score, it might be right to make the bar point.
Yeah, Wilcox is a pro. You know, a lot of players, backgammon players, they roll a 6-1. They automatically make the 5 point if they can, or the bar point if they can. Here, you can make either one.
It's a tough decision.
If he
here.
makes the 5 point, it's good because he makes a point in his home board.
It's usually right to
But he
make the
leaves a
5
shot. He
point.
leaves a 6-4.
Usually right to make the 5 point.
On the other hand, if he played the 6-1 to make the bar, he'd be restricting a lot of numbers. So he usually can't go wrong making the 5 point backgammon.
Well, there's a good saying: if you can make the 5 point, do it unless you can find a really good reason not to.
There you go.
But he did have some reasons not to there.
Yeah, that was close. It'd be
That's why he
interesting to
thought
see
about
what XG would say. 5-3 again.
Now, keep in mind, both of them are getting kind of low on time here, so they're going to play a little faster than they were earlier.
6-3 can make the 2 point.
Yeah,
Let's back that one up. We have
6-3 can make the 2 point, Wilcox. Okay, and that probably is a better play because it's just another landing spot and leaves you a lot fewer numbers that are going to crunch. This is tough because you're stripping the 8 point. Many numbers are going to leave a shot next time. You know, any 5, 5-4,
Well,
5-2, 5-3 is
sometimes
okay.
the ugly play is right.
But sometimes the ugly plays right. We'll see what happens. He knows. I mean, he wants to get his checkers in, start getting checkers off. And certainly doubles are going to play very well for him next time. All right, let's go. So we've got Dennis with a 5-1. Does he want to slot the 4 point? It's probably a good idea to slot the 4, except because, you know, even if he gets hit, he's got a much better board.
I just
on
bring
the
a
other
checker
hand,
down. I just bring a checker down.
yeah, so on the other hand, you can't cover it, right, except with the 2. So bringing a checker down makes it much more likely that you're going to make that point in the future, and you don't have the risk of having a blot. So I'm with Phil. I like 13-8. But then there's another possibility, which is he could bump up a checker.
Come on, yeah. Well, no, he could run out. He could run out all the way too. There's that. There it is.
And he could run out
That's
all
what
the
he
way.
did.
I wonder what the race is. That's what it probably was calculating. Oh, 5-4 is a great roll. Look at that. Yeah, good point on him.
I
could
think he
hit
hit
2.
outside, bring 2 down.
And hitting outside, bringing 2 down.
But he's
is
making
pretty
the
solid.
ace.
He's
Wow.
making the ace. I like it.
100% safe.
Yeah.
And gets the checker off the ace point.
And he could.
Gosh, I would not have made that
Oh,
play. I would have brought 2 down.
This.
Wow.
And what's the race now?
It's still.
Where's our race calculators? Oh, he's leaving 4 numbers. 3, 5, 2, 6.
That was a
from the
big roll for
bar.
Wilcox. That's big.
This is it. Oh, he has a 2-3.
He's not dead, but it's looking bad for Dennis.
Guess the 2 is better. And come down with a 3. Let's see. Woof. All right, I'm going to do the pip count real quick. For White, it's 52 and 8 is 60. 90, 101, 103 for White, and Red has 23 and 26 is 49, 69, 78, 90, and and 22 is 112, and 8 is 120. So he was down by 17. I didn't see the rolls. But red is
There's
definitely
some very, very big
down in
rolls
the
here
race.
for Wilcox.
5-4, beautiful. Look at all that. If he doesn't roll a 1 or a 5 next time, he's got a point on him. 3-1. Yeah, play the 1 down so your 6s are nicely positioned. And here we go. Can Wilcox do it? He does it. He gets a 3-2.
Points on him. That's huge.
Yeah, pointing on him is big.
The
He could have
fat
brought 2
lady
checkers
is
in,
getting
but
ready
then
to
he
sing.
doesn't want to do that. You know, if you're a beginner or intermediate, like you might wonder why didn't he bring 2 checkers in? And it's okay, but he didn't because
He's
he's still got work to do. He's got men to bring in from the
We need a
midpoint.
3-1, or you can pretty much kiss this game goodbye.
I know, right?
There'll be some more.
He'll get one more
jokers.
fly shot,
Oh,
right? Probably
yeah,
one more
2-1.
fly. A fly shot is not a direct shot. Direct shot is
He
any
might get a
number from
direct
1
shot
to
too.
6.
You don't know. You don't know.
We'll
There's
see.
some
No,
direct shots
yeah,
there.
yeah. No, I mean, there certainly are. 3-6. So he's got to leave him there for the contact because
Yeah.
he's so far behind. This is a decision, right? If you're in a contact position and you're behind, you want to maintain contact.
5s are not great here. 5s are not great unless it comes with a 3.
5-3, but 6-5 now
All right.
doesn't play too
Now
well.
He needs a
He's
1,
getting
2,
close.
3, or 4.
Wilcox is about to win this tournament.
Yeah. Yeah.
1. Whoa, 2-3. And he takes 1 off. And only a 6-5 leaves the shot next time. You minimize that. And he rolls a 6, and this is basically the end of the tournament.
That is.
Well, it's almost impossible now for Dennis to come back. Wilcox is so far ahead in the race.
I'm gonna go get-
And he rolls double 3s. You want to bring him over for an
I'm gonna
interview?
get
Phil's going to be back.
It's not over, but I'm going to bring them
It's
over.
pretty close to being over.
We're going to interview the winner shortly, so stick around.
Yep.
I'm
Wow.
waiting to see who the winner is.
So this is Wilcox Snellings. He was voted the #1 Giant in 1993 and 1997. Here it is 2023, and he's coming back. Back in 1997, back before the bots were what they are today, he had a PR of under 4, 3.59, which is unbelievable. So
According
PR
to Kit, that was a game
means
he showed
performance
us in the
rating.
lecture where he had a horrible, tough game.
necklace times
where he played it-
Oh,
he
yes.
played it 6.
Difficult
He
positions.
played it 6 and he still played
a
it
joker
at
anymore.
3.5.
Amazing, right?
Yeah, the last 3 were jokers. There.
Yeah. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, yeah.
No, this is over. The match is over, and Wilcox Snellings is the champion of the New York Metropolitan Open. And we're going to see if we can bring him over for an interview.
Some tough plays.
What
I
an
wasn't
exciting
sure about the
match.
6-3, trying to get a shot.
Dennis was never really in it. I think the
I like
opening
the
game
cross.
was the last time Dennis was in
Generated
this
some
match.
early shots.
But there it is. Wilcox's
Those are really
family
pretty
is here
important.
celebrating. His
done, guys. Great
wife
match.
and daughter
Great
both
tournament.
here.
Thank you.
Wilcox, we need you for an interview if you don't
Very
mind.
exciting match.
Your
It's
family's
honored
sitting
to have
out
Phil
there, they were
Simborg
rooting
for the
Dennis.
co-commentary.
Okay.
We're going to see if we can do an interview with Wilcox.
Terrific, terrific.
Thanks.
He finished.
Thanks, Frank.
He last played. Let's see, 22 years he had taken off, and then he went to Monte Carlo in 2019, just 3 years ago. He played a 2.7 PR after not playing for 22 years. What does that mean? I mean, what that means
Before we
is
played, I told him he hadn't beat me in 20 years.
he's playing with the best players in the world without even having.
So I felt
We're all waiting
confident.
for- we're all waiting
for the
I
interviews.
felt confident.
Amazing. So now we're going to come back here. Hopefully Wilcox will be coming, and we can. They're making the announcement now. So he just has such a knack for this game. He played again in Monte Carlo in 2022. He had a 3.05 PR. And just some notes about what a PR is. It stands for performance rating. The 0 is perfect. And there's a bot called Extreme Gammon. That player is called XG. We're just listening to Lynn Ehrlich announce the winner. And top players in the world play under 4. Mochi, the #1 player, typically plays around a 2, slightly over 2.0, I mean, which is unbelievable. And he's actually miles ahead of anybody else on average. There is a backgammon organization called the Backgammon Masters Awarding Body, and they go ahead and rate players at tournaments and that award masters or grandmasters in different levels based on their PR. And we've got Wilcox Snelling is going to join us over here at the table. Congratulations, Wilcox. Phil is putting on the microphone for him, and there Wilcox. Congratulations, my friend.
Thanks, Len.
How does it feel?
Appreciate it. I would need like 20 minutes to sort of let it soak in, I think, really. Yeah, this is my, I don't want to go into like data or details or when's the last time I won. This is great.
And what's exciting for you about this particular tournament is you've been in Monte Carlo, you've won some amazing events in your career.
Right, there are things. It is my first tournament since '97.
Incredible, right?
Here in the U.S. And
first tournament since 1997. That's amazing. Incredible.
I only played in three tournaments in the interim, and did sort of okay in those. And 150 players or however many that got to this event, and it's New York. It's my home city, or one of my two home cities, and that meant a lot. And a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a long time. Lee's a big one.
Lee Canute.
For sure.
Yes,
yeah.
Lee, go.
He's my favorite player.
There's so many things, I'm kind of one of these guys. I think there are many players like that. I pretty much take one match at a time. I really don't look at the sheet going ahead. I don't know if that helps me or it makes any difference at all. Who knows? We all have our little things that we do or we don't do. And Dennis is still a terrific. He was a terrific player when I retired. A couple of decades ago. Yeah, and he's a formidable player still, and I felt he was playing fine during our match, and I'm sure we were both like a little bit tense. That's just how it is. I felt I played okay, but you don't know, and it's always possible to freeze a little bit in the finals. I definitely used more clock than usual, but we have the luxury. I mean, a double clock. Really use it when you need to. I don't need to try to falsely show off and speed through some challenging moments. And I didn't know for sure if Dennis was supposed to take that recube where he needs about.
It was very close.
Yeah.
We looked at it on two different, on iOS and on Android.
Okay.
Martha looked it up,
Yeah.
and it was a pass on one and a take on the other.
Yeah, and I think that's what we both sort of came up with. But I had to take my time to make estimations, imperfect as they may have been. So, it's a tough field here. I had some definite challenges.
Great players in this field, some of the best players in the world were here.
Absolutely. I sort of dodged having to play too many of the true stars, but I play Kit, and Kit's going to be great until 100, I'm sure. I'm just letting this soak in. I actually sort of requested a glass of champagne or something to
Let's go. You deserve it.
What
are you doing to prepare? Is there anything special that you did for this tournament, or just in general, to get back after not playing for 22 years?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did a lot. Certainly, did a lot of work from 2016 until like 2019. I played a ton, and I looked over my errors and
you used XG and you analyzed.
Sure. And I had my sparring partner was John O'Hagan. I mean, we
can't do
played
better than that.
John, you have to ask John because he keeps all the data. But I think we played at least 60 matches or something over a couple of years, and that was good, probably for both of us. More recently, it's at some point you've done enough, and sometimes you're just supposed to like stop studying. I'm not advocating that.
Is that right?
Really? No.
You think at some point you get decreasing returns?
Well, I don't mean stop forever, but I actually over this last 4 months I've played 30 hours over this last 4 months, and that's really unusual. And it wasn't really intentional. It sort of happened, and I wasn't missing it. And I said, all right, I'll just. I knew I was coming to this early on, and I didn't think, this is a good way to prepare, but I felt okay, and then I studied a little bit, maybe 15 hours last week, and I felt okay.
Unbelievable. Wow, look at you, and coming in first and winning the tournament. What are your plans now, the rest of the year, at least for 2024, after this great success of yours?
Yeah, it doesn't change the agenda because I have a pretty heavy work schedule, and I do plan, it was my plan before here to go to the UBC in Marbella, and And that's a really tough tournament, and I'm sure there are at least a couple of players that are more likely to win than me, but I know I've got a shot. I know I've got a shot.
Definitely have a shot.
Yeah, and
That's great.
And I think we may go to Jamaica at the end of September. I think that's on our.
That
on our
sounds like a
on our list
fantastic
now.
tournament. Yeah, good for you. Yeah,
It sort of worked out that I played Joey Issa in the
Joey's from Ocho Rios.
Yeah,
and
previous round, and got to know him a little bit. And Phil
sponsors
helped
that
sort of
tournament and,
introduce
yeah.
us, and that he's a great guy.
That's
so,
great.
yeah.
Wilcox, congratulations.
Thank you.
We really appreciate
Appreciate
your
it.
being back in the backgammon community. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Wilcox
all.
Snellings, the new winner of the New York Metropolitan Open Tournament, new champion. Thank you all for joining us. This is Larry Shiller, voice of Backgammon. Phil Simborg has been joining us for the commentary. We appreciate Phil's help, and we look forward to seeing you at the next tournament. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks, everyone. All right.